Chapter 7. The Other One. Wind whipped around him as Tyler Marsh opened the large door that led inside the old home. It had been years since they had been here, and now he was coming home alone. The tides had indeed turned, but for what seemed like the worse now. His mother had passed several months prior, and the old estate home had been left to him. He felt a slight unease at being here alone. They had always thought the old place was haunted, and that had been one of the reasons he had decided not to come back there again. But something unforeseen had come up, and the estate had beckoned him home yet again. It had a way of calling out to him, and when it did, he felt he needed to heed the call. Tyler let his hand grip the door handle, and with a big sigh, he pushed the door ajar. He was home. Chapter 8. A Whiskey Sour. He gripped the lead crystal glass and took a deep drink of the golden liquid. Hot rum and sour tartness fell into his mouth and down his throat. It burned the very core of him, but he needed this drink now. Something was weighing heavily on his mind, and when Tyler needed to think, then he needed to have a drink. No, he wasn't obsessed with it. It was more like his moniker. Think of Tyler Marsh, and there you saw a debonair young guy, salty from a swim in the sea, holding a whiskey sour in one hand, and his latest girl on the other side. He had a reputation to uphold, by the way, and he had made a name for himself in the old sailing community. He was an up-and-coming helmsman and had a way with the seduction of the sails and the women that came along with such a lifestyle. The Spanish Keys called out to him every time, and so when he heard of his mother's passing at the phone call from her lawyer, he had decided to return home. He hadn't cried any tears yet, but at the sight of the multi-million-dollar old home, he had dried his eyes, reached out to the old bar in the study, and dialed his best friend Kylie Rockford. Kylie would definitely help him beat the blues. They had sailed together since Tyler had first joined the sailing circuit, and the two of them had met at the sailing club lounge, the Pink Pearl. Kylie was always up for an adventure, and rather than sit around counting the rooms in the old home and hoping his mother's ghost wouldn't show up to haunt him, Tyler was planning an outing on the old schooner. And this one would have a certain adventure about it. They would be looking for treasure.